is Jacob Franks. I just want to share with y'all some real life things about adoption and how it has affected my life, how it's affected other people's lives. I want to show you an example of my own family and our journey through this. To start off with, why did y'all adopt in North Carolina?
We started talking about adoption and praying through adoption a couple of years before we actually met Haven, and we weren't sure what was the right direction, and we began to see the foster option, to foster to adopt, so we started that process. And while we were waiting on that, some friends of ours just let us know about the situation about Haven, and God just began to open that door. So for us, it was more, I think, instead of seeking after North Carolina specific, that's just where God placed us, was in North Carolina, and we just wanted the child that God wanted for us, and that's where she was.
Second, what were the advantages of adopting in North Carolina?
Well, obviously, if you're doing a domestic adoption, there are a lot of costs that aren't associated with an international. Travel expenses, foreign court costs, and all of those things. We did what's known as a direct placement adoption, where it was basically just a seamless transfer of parentage from Haven's birth parents to us. And so we didn't have to have an agency. We did utilize an attorney both for us and for her birth parents. But it took out a lot of the red tape and a lot of the paperwork and really a lot of the waiting, because from the time that we met her until the day that she was legally declared ours was about 180 days.
AJ, he's a kid about my age, about 15. He has just been adopted, and he would like to share with you his story of what adoption means to him. So in a few words, can you just explain what has happened through your adoption process?
Well, first, there was a almost intermediate point where we saw that I needed to apparently not be in my house. So the longest phase is the phase of where you have to get removed from your parents, your biological parents. They have to lose their rights, as you would say, to be your parent. And that's the really long process in which it's taken over 6 years.
So on a more personal level, what does adoption mean to you now that you have gone through this?
It means that I am no longer part of a family that hates me, but now of a family that actually wants me. Because what adoption means is that, especially to me, is that I was not almost with anybody. No one would claim me. And again, that was a short process, the claiming part for me, but not for most people. But for me, even that short period, it was a period of where the only people that would claim me were the people that I was trying to get away from. And so, in that point, it was like, when I got adopted by a family that actually loved me, it meant that someone who did not birth me, someone who had no purpose of being with me, it didn't matter if they were there or not. I was not their responsibility, was willing to take the burden of me and take care of me and love me like their own. And it's really, really touching to have someone say that even though you are not mine, I will claim you as mine.
Adoption is also taking over the mainstream in people like Willie Robinson from Duck Dynasty, who have also called on and realized how important adoption really is.
My third son. I love all my children. You've seen some on, probably all of them on TV. Proud of my third son. Corey and I decided to adopt. We went into marriage wanting to know that we wanted to adopt. He's biracial. He doesn't look like us, and it was the most probably selfless thing that we had ever done. Got pregnant a month later. That wasn't planned. So we have two twins. One weighs 165. One weighs about 65. Little Will came into our lives, and I challenge you, a group this size. Some of you may have thought about that. I challenge you to do that. It's unbelievable. That's what God did with us. You know, he took us in. Jesus is his son. We are his adopted children. And so I can look at my two sons that I have and literally see the New Testament unfolded right there. Because I have the same love for him, no different. I'm proud of that.
A special thanks to AJ, to Willie, to Austin, to my parents, and to me for being awesome.
So it's so.
Now my cookie says.